What's the weirdest past you thought would never catch you? My boss discovered my cringy teenage poetry blog during our company's biggest client presentation and accidentally shared it on the main screen instead of the quarterly report. At 15, I thought I was the next Edgar Allan Poe. Created a blog called Midnight Thoughts by Raven with the most dramatic bio ever. A tortured soul bleeding words onto digital paper. I used black backgrounds with dark red fonts that were impossible to read. I wrote exclusively about heartbreak despite never having a real girlfriend. Posted daily poems about soul-crushing loneliness and the darkness within my shattered heart. Used phrases like crimson tears and eternal void in every single post. My username was Dark Raven Eternal, with way too many underscores. The poems were absolutely terrible. One started with, "My heart is like a broken clock, tick-tocking with pain." Another compared my math homework to chains binding my creative spirit. I wrote a 12-stanza epic about my parents not understanding me because they asked me to clean my room. I'd post dramatic selfies in black and white with quotes like, "She smiled to hide the storms within." Added way too many hashtags. Just deep thoughts, just poetry, heels, just misunderstood, teen, just dark academia. The comments were just other dramatic teenagers saying, "OMG, so relatable," and "This speaks to my soul." My masterpiece was titled Ode to My Broken Dreams, a 47-line poem about not making the varsity football team. I compared being cut from tryouts to artistic genocide and referenced Byron like I personally knew him. After graduation, I completely forgot about it, changed my whole aesthetic, went to business school, became a marketing director. That blog felt like a different lifetime. Fast forward 10 years. I'm presenting our agency's biggest pitch to a luxury jewelry client. We're talking about emotional marketing and authentic storytelling. I'm clicking through slides on my laptop when suddenly the screen freezes. I try refreshing, but instead of our presentation, my old blog pops up. The entire boardroom is staring at a giant projection of Midnight Thoughts by Raven, with my 15-year-old emo selfie as the header. My client, this sophisticated 60-year-old woman, starts reading aloud. "The silver moonlight kisses my tear-stained cheeks as I ponder the meaninglessness of existence." The room goes dead silent. My boss's face turns bright red. I'm frantically trying to close the browser, but it keeps loading more posts. A poem about my forbidden love for my English teacher appears. Then another about how Hot Topic was my sacred sanctuary. The client keeps reading, and I want to disappear into the floor. She gets to my poem comparing heartbreak to 1,000 dying roses in winter, and suddenly stops. She looks directly at me and says, "Did you write this?" I wanted to lie, but my face was already giving me away. "Yes, when I was 15, I whispered. She smiled. "This is exactly what we need." Turns out she'd been struggling to connect with younger customers. She said my old writing captured the raw emotional authenticity their brand was missing. The dramatic, over-the-top feelings resonated with their target demographic perfectly. We redesigned their entire campaign around eternal love and timeless passion, used phrases inspired by my cringy poetry. The client loved how my teenage angst translated into luxury romance marketing. 6 months later, their sales increased by 340%. The campaign won 3 industry awards. I got promoted to creative director. My business cards now include the line, "Former midnight poet, current brand storyteller." The company framed my Ode to Broken Dreams poem and hung it in the creative department for inspiration. I still haven't deleted that blog. It's become our agency's secret weapon for authentic emotional marketing.